go live button, and now we wait for YouTube to catch up. Hey everybody, I just did a whole story when I thought it was live already, but yeah, it's been a while since I've streamed, so sorry about that. Let's see. I've pulled out my Advent of Code mug. Center, yes. So it's time to do some Advent of Code again. Yeah, and I tried to put on some music with Spotify, but that also didn't want to play. I think my PC might be a bit mad at me because I just swapped out CPUs because I keep getting blue screens with my old, very expensive processor. So I swapped back to an older one that I bought previously when I had issues. So yeah, because I didn't want to blue screen right while I was streaming. So for now there's no music. I'll probably try to make sure there's a little bit of music tomorrow. But yeah, I figured you've waited long enough. Let's get started with Advent of Code. So it's been really nice. I've seen people ask on Discord and in YouTube comments like, hey, are you going to do Advent of Code again this year? And yes, I've been really looking forward to it. It's been way too long. I always make plans that I wish to stream more and do more because I love doing this kind of stuff, but it's just too busy usually. So yeah, let's get into it and start reading. I already set up the base class and the project. I quickly did that before. I actually made a video 2 days ago about my adventures of trying to get the session cookie. If you're into that kind of stuff, it's on my channel. I uploaded it 2 days ago, where basically Chrome changed their encryption standard for secure cookies, and I extracted them the hard way instead of just opening the developer tools. So yeah, let's just start reading today's question and do day one. Day one is always very, very easy. Nice little starter to get back into it all. Sunko Suffer says hello, and Smap UK is here, and Luke and Amarte. It's nice to see all of you back here after not seeing you for a year again, and that's all my fault. So yeah, thanks for keeping me company. Let's see. Historian Hysteria. This chief historian is always present for the big Christmas sleigh launch, but nobody has seen him in months. Last anyone heard, he was visiting locations that are historically significant to the North Pole. A group of senior historians has asked you to accompany them as they check the places they think he was most likely to visit. As each location is checked, they will mark it in their list with a star. They figure this chief historian must be in one of the first 50 places they'll look. So in order to save Christmas, you need to help them get 50 stars on their list before Santa takes off on December 25th. Collect stars by solving puzzles. 2 puzzles will be made available on each day in the Advent calendar. The second puzzle is unlocked when you complete the first. Each puzzle grants 1 star. Good luck. You haven't even left yet, and the group of elvish senior historians has already hit a problem. Their list of locations to check is currently empty. Eventually, somebody decides that the best place to check first would be the chief historian's office. Upon pouring into the office, everybody confirms that the chief historian is indeed nowhere to be found. Instead, the elves discover an assortment of notes and lists of historically significant locations. This seems to be the planning the chief historian was doing before he left. Perhaps these notes can be used to determine which locations to search. Hello, Humoristadne. Sorry for butchering your name, but welcome to the chat. We're just reading today's problem set. Through the chief's office, the historically significant locations are listed not by name but by unique number called the location ID. To make sure they don't miss anything, the historians split up into 2 groups, each searching the office and trying to create their own complete list of location IDs. There's just one problem. By holding the 2 lists up side by side, your puzzle input, it quickly becomes clear that the lists aren't very, very similar. Maybe you can help the historians reconcile their lists. For example, and here we have a few lists and numbers. Maybe the lists are only off by a small amount. Oh yeah, we programmers love off by 1 errors. To find out, pair up the numbers and measure how far apart they are. pair up the smallest number in the left list with the smallest number in the right list, then the second smallest left number with the second smallest right number, and so on. Within each pair, figure out how far apart the two numbers are. You'll need to add up all those distances. For example, if you pair up a 3 from the left list with a 7 from the right, the distance apart is 4. That's basic math, that's easy. Also, for those who don't know, oh, I need to log into chat, that's not useful. Let me open up advanofcode.com here. Day 1. That's nice when you have a second PC. This is what we're reading right now. For those that don't know Advent of Code, it's a yearly programming challenge, and yeah, as the text said, every day unlocks a new puzzle, and there are 2 parts to each day for 50 in total. Let's see. Yes, I just read that. If you pair up a 9 with a 3, the distance apart is 6. Sure. Ah, okay, so it's an absolute number, right? 3 with 7 is 4, 9 with 3 would now normally be a negative number, but you just do an absolute of that. Okay, fine. In the example list above, the pairs and distances would be as follows. The smallest left is 1 with 2. Yeah, sure. This all makes sense. Find the total distance between all the left lists and the right list. Add up the distances between all of the pairs you found. In the example above, this is 2 plus 1 plus 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 5, total distance of 11. Okay. Your actual left and right lists contain many location IDs. What's the total distance between your lists? Okay. This example here already makes me think, because my initial thought is like, to be honest, I totally forgot Advent of Code starts today. If not for your stream, I'd be off by 1 day. Okay, happy to be of service, and it was nice to see you again. I hope you're also looking forward to Advent of Code again. It's like my favorite time of the year. It's just so much fun to do. And I wish there was more, that I have more time as well, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, as I was saying, first I thought that you probably don't even need to, because basically what they tell you is take both columns, sort them, and then just subtract them from each other and take the absolute from that. Because they say here when the left one is larger than the right, and I thought maybe always the left one is smaller than the right, but that's not the case sometimes apparently. If that were the case, you could also just sum up the left one and the right one and then subtract those from each other, because it doesn't matter in which order you would do it probably. But yeah, let's just code up the solution and do it the simple way for now. This is my base class. I also have a video on this if you want to know how it works. Basically, there is a solution thing that has the base URL. It reads your session key from a text file, and then when you try to get the input, it checks if it's already on disk. If not, it will download it. Be sure to add headers for your program so that they can identify it on their end, and also make sure that you don't hammer them, e.g. make sure you cache it. So if you do it like this, it's all good, and you can just download the input programmatically. SmapUK says, Amarde, I need to look out for your solution. They always have great graphics. Yeah. You did some visualizations as well last year. We had a lot of fun. Let's see how this year goes. I still haven't finished some from last year. There was this intersecting rays in 3D space where I had a precision error that I still need to look at how to change the math so that we don't get the imprecision of large floating point numbers, etc. But yeah, we're not there yet. We can also just take the test input here. So test input is this. And test answer for part 1 is 11, so we can set this all up. And basically part 1 would be input, 2 lines basically first, and then, I don't know if I actually made something for column based things here. So we can do boom, 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 boom. Let me think. We can select each one of these will be exit split by space. Remove empty entries. This will give us 2 entries if we're correct, as int 32s probably. So we have var parse is this. So this will give us a list of int. So basically the first dimension here will be our left column, and the second will be the right column. So I think we can do parse.select var is this. Basically this. And we also need to order by, come on. So this should give us 2 ordered lists. So let's do something like that. And then we can do console.writeLine. Let's just print it out for now. Let's see. Martin says, SmapUK, thank you. After advent of Code, I was messing around with VS Debugger visualizations. Not sure if I'm going to use those or still revert to good old ASCII art. SmapUK says, I have Visual Studio Debugger visualizations working for me as well. Martin says, but first I need to regain access to my GitHub. Never used it for the last year or so, and 2FA blocked me. GitHub says it'll take 2 days. Ah, yeah, that's annoying. I had the same with Bitbucket. Something I didn't realize is like you have your Atlassian login, and then you have a secondary Bitbucket login, which is by Atlassian, uses your Atlassian ID. But I had 2-factor on my Atlassian ID, but also on Bitbucket, and those are 2 separate 2-factor things. So I would always log into one, and then it would reject the second one because it would actually be a different one. So then when you want to reset it, it's like, okay, we'll reset it, and in 24 hours you can do your reset stuff. So you first have to wait. It's a security measure, but yeah, it can be annoying when you want to get into stuff. Also, recommendation, make sure to set up SSH keys for your GitHub stuff. It's always nice to have multiple ways to access your code. So that way you could easily just create new stuff and pull it out, etc. Let's see. So we can do AI and BI. Let's just print these out and see if our values are sorted now. And I need to set this to test. True, but I think it's okay. Let's run this again. So here we have it sorted. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. With on the second hand. That's interesting. Didn't I do? Ah, yeah. I need to pull out the second one. Already making stupid mistakes. It's gonna be a great one, I can already tell. Okay, so the second one will be 33359, right? 3, 3. Is there a 4 here? Ah, the first line here. 33359. Where's that 4 coming from? Am I blind? There's no, the first one is a 4, my bad. Okay, so yeah, basically that works. It sorts them, it takes 2 lists, and then you can pull them apart. So now what we need to do is actually ulong diff is 0. So now we can do the minus b I. I have the same name, so this will be our local diff. This should be an absolute value. Math.abs. Could also just check which one of those is bigger and do them first, but that's fine. Oh, it doesn't like that? Okay, fine. I'll make it a ulong. And then we do P1 is diff. Okay, it's just a regular long. In this case, we know that it can't be a negative number, but I've set it up so where it's just longs for the answers here. Okay, so the test should work right now and pass that one. So it goes pass 1, that's good. So now let's do the real thing here. Okay, apparently something crashed. Let's do test as false and run the real input. This should be the answer. Woohoo! First gold star, right? This was easy peasy. Let's see. Your analysis is only confirmed what everyone feared. The 2 lists of location IDs are indeed very different. Thanks for the stars, MapUK. Or are they? The historians can't agree on which group made the mistake or how to read most of the chief's handwriting, but in the commotion you notice an interesting detail. A lot of location IDs appear in both lists. Maybe the other numbers aren't location IDs, but all rather misinterpreted handwriting. Amata says, nice first star of the year, congrats. Yeah, thank you. And without a wrong submit as well, so it's a good start. Let's see, this time you'll need to figure out exactly how often each number from the left list appears in the right list. Calculate the total similarity score by adding up each number in the left list after multiplying it by the number of times that number appears in the right list. Okay, so let's see. For these example lists, there is a process of finding the similarity score. First number on the left list is 3. It appears on the right list 3 times, so the similarity score increases by 3, means it becomes 9. Okay. Second number in the left list is 4. It appears once, so it becomes 4. Yeah, sure. Third number, etc., etc., does not appear, so it becomes 0. Fourth one is 1. Okay. So for these examples, similarity scores, okay. So you just add those, okay. So part 2 is basically the same, but you just do an index of those first. Okay, sure. So it's still this same part, and I should probably have like a pre-processed step where I can make something available in both parts where I don't do this twice. I should probably think about that. But for now, let's not waste too much time, right? Basically, we need to group by and count, so this becomes irrelevant. We need to group by x, select. Now we can basically do to dictionary key. Basically the count. So B will now hold the counts. And this becomes the values. So yeah. If counts try get value I out of our mul int, we can call it int mul val is 0 val equals no, time equals mul actually. So yeah. Well, also this running total was wrong because I did it before adding it there. So this, we add val here, and then we do p2 is diff, and this would be sum actually. So yeah, let's go back to test. Zero, wait. Huh, that's interesting. If you're using 9, you can replace the group by count with count by. Yeah, I've seen the new version, but I haven't updated it yet. So yeah, I've seen some of the new features, but I still need to change some things before I can use it. So this is interesting. Counts is basically, they are here. I made a boo-boo here. Because I need to do values I times mul. So I reset it to 0 here every time because sometimes actually I can just do it here. What I could do is if not counts try value, I can do mul is 0, and then I can just do values is that times mul. Like this. This is actually what I should have done, so let's try that again. 16, did I actually put in? Should be 31, nice. Let's see what I'm doing wrong here. So this one should be 31. So we have the values here. Yes. The counts are 3, 1 and 1. Is it correct? For the 2 and the 1 will be zeros, right? And the other will be 9. So what did my program say? This one is weird. I think I know what I did because I need, yep, my bad here. Val is 2, 2, 2, 2. I don't need to look at I for index, but val. Like this, and then you do times equals this. Okay, back again. It's great. It's day 1 and I'm still making lots of silly mistakes, but yeah, it works now. Let's run the true input. I didn't even put in the first one. I need to put it here. Boom. So now I can check part 2. And this should be the second one. Woohoo! First 2 bags, stars in the bag. Okay. Not as smooth as I hoped, but it worked. Yeah. I was already making lots of small little mistakes. How did the rest of you fare? Did you also have moments like that? Like checking for the index instead of the actual value? And yeah. I guess that's a downside of doing it after a long day in the evening. Not as sharp as in the morning, but yeah, it's been fun. Yeah, SmabUK says, not sure if it's worth sharing my code today. Not today, yeah. Yeah, it's basically really, really simple. And this is just like convenience. You probably should split it and then just enumerate it there. It's simple like that. This also didn't need to be ordered for the second part because it doesn't matter there. So that's an unneeded operation, but yeah. Amartya says, first I try to remember C# after a year. Ah, what language do you program in normally? Let me pull up chat here. I still have a lot of my coffee. It's a nice contrast to where I normally just have my coffee run cold halfway through the problem and then realize I have coffee. C++ these days and blueprints in Unreal. Ah yeah, game dev mostly, right? Yeah. You could do it in C++, right? If you prefer that, if you're more used to that. Lots of people always try Advent of Code just to try new languages or get better at stuff they don't do a lot. So for me, I just really enjoy coding. I just like to do it in a language that I'm familiar with and like. So that's why I still do it in C#. But if there were ever a new language tempting me, I'd probably try that to do some more Advent of Code stuff. I like to use C# to remain proficient. Yeah. I use the zip method. Sunco suffer. Ah yeah, that's actually to... Yeah, I've used that a long time ago. I can't remember. I think last year we used zip as well. Yeah, day 25 for, yeah, the last day. I can't even remember how it works exactly. Is that basically, I think what zip does is like in a long line of values, it will take pieces of 2 as it goes through it, right? Let me just navigate in definition. Oh yeah, it's also just part of link, of course. So will this just spit out 2 values if you... What's the value here? Let me see, I have Discord notifications. Oh, let me pull it up. Show off your stuff. Let me just quickly look. Get list left or right. I'm looking at this and I already don't, because this isn't like the spread operator. This will copy it. Luke says, see you tomorrow. Bye, Luke. Thanks for hanging out. Amate shared it on Discord as well. Stealing my GitHub? No. Sure, I'll accept your terms. It's so bright. Yeah, this is the same approach. Yep. So now I'm intrigued by this. Load lists. Let me see. It does input at get lists and then left and right, but wait, these are different constants. I was mixing these up. Left is basically 0 and 1. Yeah, okay, never mind. Like I said, it's late in the evening and I'm not fully awake, it seems. Sorry. Let's see. Z merges two lists. Absent first and second. Look at total distance for zip. Oh yeah, list one dot order, two dot order, distance. Okay. Okay, you mean as a way to just enumerate both of them. Okay. So basically that's rather than, let me just pull this up here. Instead of this, right? So that would be, yeah, I get it now. So you would do a.zip b, and then was there a function there? Result selector. So you can do like this, right? Sure. And I can do dot sum. So var result is this, and then we should expect stop. This should be the same as this one. Yeah. Sure. This is actually, it's cleaner. Yeah. I mean, unless you want to spam the console with a write line every line, but you could also do that in here actually. So yeah. Yeah, I never use this, and apparently it tells. But it's a straightforward approach, easier than can just put it there as a reminder for myself. Yeah, it's a fun day one. They are always nice and easy. Suncoast Software said, I just learned about zip while doing other years of Advent of Code. Yeah, like I said, we used it on day 25 last year here. Oh yeah, and I used that to offset one. It's still fuzzy. Trying to remember back to all the stuff that didn't work last year. Yeah. Sorry for the getting started issues and the delay, but yeah, I was happy to see everybody here again. So I'll try to stream again tomorrow. I don't know what time. It probably will be in the evening again, as I have to go to a client in the morning, and then there's family stuff, and it's just easier for me to do it in the evening. I'd really love to do it first thing in the morning while I'm fresh, and so that I don't have to avoid spoilers all day. But I normally really enjoy like watching people do this as well. So I'll probably, for the later days, I will go to YouTube and see what other people have done after I've done it as well. But yeah, such is life. I'm happy that I'll be able to do it again this year at all. So yeah, thanks everybody for keeping me company, and I hope to see you all the other days as well. Bye bye.